A very good morning to our esteemed chief guest, management members, faculty, and my dear friends.
I, Akula Pillai,
And myself, Palak Padalia.
welcome you all to the grand celebration of innovation, creativity, and knowledge, the Arkinova College Fest. We welcome you all on an exciting journey where we come together to explore new ideas, showcase our talents, and celebrate the spirit of learning and discovery. This event is not just a fest, but a platform where we unite to push boundaries, break barriers, and craft a future that is innovative and inclusive. Whether it's in the field of architecture, design, arts, or technology, Arkinova brings together the best minds, the brightest ideas, and a passionate community ready to inspire and to be inspired.
As we experienced a vibrant fusion of intellectual discussions, creative exhibitions, exhilarating competitions, and performances that will leave a lasting impact. This is a celebration of all that we can achieve when we work together, dream big, and pursue excellence. I encourage each one of you to fully embrace this event, participate with enthusiasm, and most importantly, enjoy the wonderful experience that Arkinova promises to be. Let's make memories that will not only enrich us today but also guide us in our future endeavors. Once again, welcome to Arkinova College Fest. Let's make this an event to remember.
Any auspicious event starts with the lighting of the lamp, a ritual that evokes positive vibes and contributes to the happy atmosphere around. I now call upon our chief guest, Architect Alan Abraham Sir, our management dignitaries, Shri Deepak Chauhan Sir, our ex-director, Architect Anil Nagraj Sir, Professor Anuprita Ma'am, and Professor Tanvi Ma'am to light the lamp. Please. Thank you, dignitaries.
It is my privilege to invite Professor Tanvi Joshi ma'am to extend a warm welcome to everyone present over here.
A very good morning to our respected dignitaries, Deepak sir, our founder principal and ex-director Anil Nagraj sir, Purnima Raje ma'am who was there but she had to leave, and our chief guest architect Alan Abraham sir, esteemed faculty members, and my dear students. It is with great excitement and pride that I welcome you all to this session of Samvad Shrinkla as a part of our annual festival Arkinova. Today, we come together to celebrate not just an event, but a tradition that embodies the spirit, creativity, and excellence of our college. This Samvad Shrinkla marks a truly special occasion, an opportunity to learn from a prominent figure in the field of architecture, Architect Alan Abraham. Before we dive into the session, let me take a moment to welcome all of you, our budding architects, our creators of tomorrow, our dreamers of better built environment. Each of you bring with you a passion for design, a curiosity for innovation, and a drive to shape the future in ways that will leave an enduring impact. Architecture is not merely a profession, it's a calling. It demands imagination, dedication, and an unyielding commitment to excellence. As students, you are on an incredible journey, a journey filled with sleepless nights perfecting your drawings, the thrill of seeing your designs taking shape, and the satisfaction of turning visions into realities. Events like this annual festival Arkinova and particularly sessions like Samvar Shrinkhala are here to fuel the journey. They are platforms for exploration, collaboration, and inspiration. They remind us that architecture is a collective endeavor where ideas are shared, challenged, and refined to create something extraordinary. It is my distinct honor to welcome architect Alan Abraham, the co-head of Abraham John Architects. His work has redefined contemporary architecture with its unique blend of functionality, aesthetics, and a deep connection with the environment. Thank you, Architect Alan, for being with us, and your presence and insights are invaluable for our festival. Today, to all the students here, I encourage you all to take this opportunity not only to learn, but also to get your aspirations. Let this experience ignite new possibilities for your future. Thank you, and I wish you all an enriching session. Thank you.
I would like to invite Professor Anil Nagraj sir, our founder principal and ex-director, to address the audience with a welcoming note, thereby expressing his enthusiasm about the day and also sharing his take on our progress so far.
Good morning. I'm so happy to be here, and I hope all of you, all students, are having a great time. Arkinova is a fantastic event which has been going on for so many years now, and each year there's a new energy and new enthusiasm. I'm so glad to be a part of it. I thank Professor Tanvi for inviting me, and I also want to express my appreciation for our treasurer of the society, Mr. Deepak Chauhan, who has always been a rock solid support behind the college, and of course welcoming my friend Alan Abraham, and so that he can share his vision about how the city can grow. You have all, Palak and Aquila have beautifully introduced, what your thoughts and your thinking behind this. So it's so important for all of us to be involved with, our society. We do learn our skills and we develop knowledge and we develop wisdom, but it is very, very important for us to think and to see how we can make our environment more humane. It is very, it seems easy, but actually when you're in the field, when you're dealing with people, it's a very tough job, which Alan will probably talk about. So it's very important for us to develop our thinking skills, our visual skills. I'm so glad to see that visually the exhibition is also getting better and better, and you are trying innovative things every year. So you have to really look at how you visualize the future. Visualization is one of the most important things anybody can do. An architect particularly is trained to visualize. So we have to visualize a better future, a better city, a better neighborhood. All that you have to do, and you have to see then, because if you have that visualization, then you can work towards it. So most important, please look at the future. As you know, what we talk about CTES, the three important lines. We learn from the past and we understand the present, but we are shaping the future. And The future has so many possibilities. There is so much on the horizon. You will have to decide what is your level of involvement with all that. So I wish you all the best. Let the celebrations continue. Let the spirit continue. And let us make, CTES College of Architecture a great place to learn and to enjoy and to have fun. All the best.
Thank you so much, sir, for appreciating us and for your valuable words. Today, we also celebrate creativity, knowledge, and the collective spirit of our institution as we unveil the latest edition of our college magazine, Ar.Alan. Ar.Alan is a testament to the hard work, passion, and the talent of our students and faculty, and it reflects the diverse perspectives and aspirations of our college community. To inaugurate and mark the beginning of a new chapter in the magazine's journey, it gives me immense pleasure to invite our chief guest, Architect Ellen Abraham sir, our management dignitary, Shri Deepak Chauhan sir, our ex-director, Architect Anil Nagraj sir, Professor Tanvi Joshi ma'am, and Professor Anuprita ma'am to kindly grace the occasion and unveil the magazine. I would also like to call upon our publication head and the editor of the magazine, Soham Patil from the third year, and Professor Rohan Jadhav sir. Sir, please.
I would like to invite my team on stage. Shubham Kamle, Riya Nevrekar, Risha Potham Shetty, and Om Tatsat Pandey. Good morning, everyone. I am honored to stand here today as the publication head for this year's college magazine launch. This is a very special moment for me. When I took on this role, I felt very nervous. Being in my second year, it was my first time leading a team for an important project. Everything was new and challenging, but today I feel proud of what we have achieved together. I want to thank our faculty in charge, Professor Rohan Jadhav sir, for his constant guidance and support. Sir, you were always there to help us and encourage us to do our best. Your support made this journey much more easier. I also want to thank our seniors, Anirudh, Viraj, Dipti, Mohini, and Tulsi. Even with your busy schedules and DD work, you took the time to help us and guide us. Your advice was so valuable and we learned a lot from you. A special shout out to Rishikesh and Anisha, who were busy with their internships. Thank you for still finding time to support us. Your dedication means a lot. This magazine is more than just pages of articles and artwork. It reflects our creativity, hard work, and teamwork. It represents the voices and dreams of all of us. To my team, thank you for working so hard and believing in this project. I am so proud of what we have created together. I would like to thank Professor Tanvi ma'am, Professor Sweta ma'am, and entire student council for standing by me. As we launch this year's magazine, I hope it inspires and entertains everyone who reads it. Thank you, and I hope you enjoy it as much as we enjoyed making it. Thank you.
I would now like to call upon Professor Avni Sabnis ma'am to kindly come and announce special mention awards.
Thank you, Palak. Today we acknowledge and celebrate our students' valuable contributions and achievements, which have truly enriched our institution. These certificates of appreciation are a token of our gratitude for your efforts. I would like to invite Architect Alan Abraham sir to give out these awards. We start with Stepwell documentation for Aurangabad. I would request these students to collect certificates on behalf of their teams. First is Amrut Tirtha Stepwell, Mohini Vairalkar, Stein House. Next is Masjid Bauri, Viraj More, Korea House. Next is Saraswati Stepwell, Dipti Khere, Kanvinde House. Next is Khacheri Stepwell, Rugvet More, Baker House. Thank you to all students for their valuable contribution and efforts. I would now like to invite Deepak Chauhan sir to give out the next award. Next, we have contribution in Arkinova sponsorship, with whose help we could not have put up a good event. I would like to call upon Viraj More from 5th year. And Sakshi Sawant from 3rd year. Thank you for your valuable contribution. Next, we have contribution in the new look of our college. We appreciate the efforts in college infrastructure development. I would like to call upon Lakshadweep Godse and Nakul Waria from 5th year. We thank you for your efforts. Next, I would like Architect Anik Nagraj sir to give out the next prizes. Best T-shirt design, Janvi Devkar, Kanvinde House. Lastly, representing college in national level sports, Malkham Mansi Malunchkar. She also won a gold medal yesterday as a part of university team. Congratulations to her. She's unavailable today. Thank you, chief guest. Thank you. Congratulations to all the winners, and please give them a big hand of applause. Over to you, Palak.
Please be seated. We now move on to the next part of celebrations of Arkinova. We believe that conversations have the power to rescue us from tumultuous times. And as Limda ma'am said, one good conversation can shift the direction of change forever. Yes, we are hinting towards our curated series of conversations called Samvan Shrinkla, which has hosted over 25 speakers across diverse fields, imparting their wisdom and exchanging ideas. Continuing this, we are excited to announce the 12th series of Samvad Shrinkla, where we open the platform to our esteemed speaker and the chief guest of the event, Architect Ar.Alan sir.
Architect Ar.Alan sir is the Joint Principal Architect of Abraham John Architects, a multidisciplinary architecture, interior design, landscaping, and urban planning studio founded in 1967 by Abraham John in Bombay. For 5 decades, it has been providing innovative design for a diverse range of commissions, both private and public. The Bombay-based practice combines the strength of experience with a contemporary perspective and a focused attention to detail. The design approach of the studio is to reconnect architecture with nature, approaching each project regardless of size and scale, with an understanding that architecture has a unique power to influence lifestyle and society. Alan sir has also been working on urban design solutions to improve Mumbai and make it more livable, green, eco-friendly city through proactive initiatives. He is the co-founder of Bombay Greenway, a not-for-profit urban design and research platform by Abraham John Architects. To explore architecture from a wider perspective, it uses the studio as a workshop for new ideas and to share concepts and experiences to transform the city and its lifestyle. He strongly believes in the power of collaboration and is a founding member of both the Bandra Collective and the Mumbai Architects Collective. We would now like to invite Sir to share his thoughts. Thank you, Sir.
Hi. Is it audible? Okay. I'd like to thank Professor Anil Nagarath for inviting me here and Professor Tanvi for hosting me. Thank you so much, and I hope you all find some value in this. I'm going to be showing some of our projects, focusing on one design process for the architects. Is it clear? Is it too loud? Is it okay? Okay. For the architects, so we have an idea about architecture, and then I'll move on to something that we like to do, which is kind of try to improve certain sectors of the society we live in. So basically, it's echoing. As architects, we transform people's lifestyles. We're not space designers. That's just kind of the byproduct. And what we're kind of implying through this, I'll come through. This is our firm. That's my dad, and that's my boss, my wife. So yeah, it's been there for some time. We've done projects in the days of film, and yeah. So these are okay. Closer. Okay, these are some project images. So I'll just run through them quickly, so you have an idea of aesthetic, which is very clean line, minimal, kind of something that we kind of aspire to. So this is like an interior renovation within an old apartment in Bombay. So the transformation is actually quite huge, and there's a lot of detailing involved, but it looks rather simple. This was near the sea, so you're getting views of the sea, you're getting things, and there's a lot of detailing in terms of you don't see a bottle trap in a wash basin and stuff like that. So you need to get into products and details for even here when even the shower cubicle has the plumbings just into one singular thing. So there's a lot of work in this, but the overall aesthetic is something where we like to connect with the environment or the context we're within. We're not isolated. This is some offices, some residents, yeah, and stuff. So you're using different materials. Some people want things a little more glitzy. This is a cricketer's house, and other spaces. So these are some interior projects. I'll just, because interiors actually makes you money, guys. So when you'll get out, you'll find that there's no money. Oops, sorry. And yeah, so you do interiors to kind of keep the shop running. So yeah. So yeah, again, different places, different systems. This is something that shows that we're not geographically limited. This is something in New York that we've done. We worked all across Bombay, all across India also, but interiors generally tends to be Bombay centric. This is in New York. We've designed a restaurant facing Manhattan. We're doing another one here now. And all of it was made in India, shipped over there, installed. So you find that the installation cost is more than the production cost, which is kind of crazy. But it saves a lot of money for the client when we do this. This is a gym, again, different things. So what happens is we also go into detailing products. So this is a table which we made in an outdoor area, or lights that we fabricated. This is custom made and made by hand. You go into installations where we have lighting and stuff like that. This was this will come later too, where you have an abstract installation which kind of comes in a public space, which is then interactive. So it's a tree, but it's kind of it's something like your face here. So we do a lot of those things. Now, coming into architecture, again, everything is very context specific. So here this is in Lonavala, we have a lake, we have heavy rains, we have moisture. So you have sloping roofs and stuff. It'll be different from another project that I'll show you. This is during construction, this render, this thing, that thing, and correcting mistakes. This was a SketchUp, I've done something. So at that time it was Google, then became Trimble. Yeah, so you could use it during construction to kind of oversee things. This you all must be doing too. So photo montages and stuff like that. Different projects here, and the fact that we like to be within the space we are in. We like the context of a space. So if you are in Lonavala, you should feel like you're in Lonavala, not like in a Bombay house. Or if you're in Goa, you should feel like in Goa. So this is just to give you context. Then Jodhpur, for example, here there's flat roofs, different ecosystem, different weather system. So it, and the grill, it's echoing. Closer? Okay. And the grillage, for example, reflects the traditional thing, but at the same time it's modern. So again, there's a lot of glass, there's a lot of openness, there's a lot of inside outside, which is important. And we love the landscape elements that happen. We like plants, we like other things like that. So it comes into different aspects, whether it's the bedroom, the bathroom. We want there to be a connectivity with the space. This is something in Goa, this was a clubhouse. Yeah, I'll just show you a design process here to show you the way we approach something. So this will be the architectural part, which will kind of end soon. So this was a site we had in Goa. This was the view from the site, which is for us fantastic. The site itself is at the back there in the trees, and this was on the site. So this looks really nice. The moment you build, you're not sustainable. There's nothing like sustainable architecture. You can try to be sustainable. You can use techniques that will save the environment from major destruction, but whatever you build will be destructive, because you'll dig in a place, you'll dig out of another place to get the material to put into your place. So there's going to be some kind of a thing. So you need to be a little conscious of it. But truly sustainable is very difficult. Truly sustainable is not to build, which is also very nice, but then you don't have work. So we have to build. Client wants a huge house. He wants to cut down all the trees. I say, oh, you can't cut down the trees. He says, he found out these coconut trees are grass. They can be cut. Okay. So I'm like, no, they can't be cut. And then it's like 50-year-old trees or whatever. So it's like, no, we have to cut it. I want a big house. He wants a big house. I want a big house without making it big. I want trees. So then we have to negotiate. There's a lot of negotiation with clients, always. First on the fees, then on the fees, then on the fees again, then on the design, then on the finishes, then it's please Baba. But you have to do. So then we designed a house around the trees, and we changed 3 horticultures because 2 said they'll fall down. And this has been like 8-10 years, they've not fallen down still. The last one said, okay, he agreed with us, so we kept that guy. And we designed around the trees, which is easier said than done, because you have roots which spread. In this case, fortunately, it's fibrous, it's a little less spready. And then you have to redesign the foundations and do other things to kind of protect it, which doesn't seem really worth it to a client who sees only the trunk of the tree, which looks very boring, but to us it's nice. But it's important to kind of push towards what you want. And this is during construction and designing everything around it. So this is the basic design process, where we kept our sight lines, we kept our trees, we kept our site, got the client a big house, whatever. So it's like, I think, yeah, this is a little animated, so it makes a little more sense. And that would have been a conventional house if you had to cut down the trees and build a big block. And this is a more like a village kind of villa, where you have individual houses as individual rooms as individual houses. So you get this. And yeah, and then it came out pretty nice when they shot it on a drone. We didn't know the trees look so good from top, but they look good, and the house looks good. So in terms of lifestyle over here, it's fantastic, because you're having a lifestyle where you kind of you have to remember, walls are very exclusive. Walls kind of cut off people. Walls, what we design, are meant to keep away and to keep in. Keep out the weather, keep out people. It's very exclusive. So walls can be very damaging, and that's what we build. I mean, at the end of the day, all architects are doing that, and you can't help it. But at some level, you're doing that. But if you want to be inclusive and kind of connect with nature and all, you need to create spaces which allow for that. And that's what we're aiming for. And this is the villa, and yeah, that's the villa at night. The trees are there, the trees are still standing. They've gone through many cyclones and stuff. Absolutely okay. Pool. So you get all the things you want. At the same time, we get some of the things that we want, which is, the materiality, the space, things like that. So it's always, you don't get it like 100%, but you get it close to that if you try hard enough and you convince the client. So convincing the client is important. It's difficult to do in city terms, like Anil had mentioned, and we'll come to that. So yeah, so you get spaces which otherwise kind of are nice but boring in a regular system when you have a blank slate to work within. And then yeah, so primarily we love landscape. We like the nature we are in, and we like the context we are in. So we're going to come to that, and this is just other images of the same project, just to give an idea. And you can make it as luxurious as you want, because now you're seeing it filled out and getting the interiors and all the other stuff in, and the landscape kicks in. You got the things that make it comfortable. Yeah. So we love nature. So this is the intro. This is the architectural part. So we feel good like as architects, and we get some money, and we love bringing the outdoor in. So this just. Sorry, there's some repetition here. And we love natural materials. That's the other thing. We like a lot of natural materials. We like to be sustainable. We like to be eco-friendly. We like to be those things because we like it the way it is. And we feel that we're imposing on the landscape very often when we build. And so we have to be a little more sensitive, and we need to be responsive. So we design not just, and this is important, this is applicable to all of us, and you need to remember this because this is important, that your vision is right, that you are designing not just objects, not just architecture, but you're designing lifestyles. Okay, it's the way you live, it's the way you get up, what you see, how the wind blows, what you're going to enjoy or what you're going to experience at different times of the day. So we design houses that turn into homes, we design places that turn into spaces, and we design for a better tomorrow, ideally, right? If you're doing someone's house, office, whatever. We also love our city, and our city is not like great, huh? It's a third world underdeveloped city. Just, you need to start by acknowledging a problem, because if you don't acknowledge a problem, you will not find a solution. You can't like say, oh, I love it, so it's perfect. It's not. You love it. It's good enough. So we must treat the city like our living room, because that's where we're going to meet all our friends, right? We're going to meet out in the city. We must treat it like our dining rooms. We're going to eat out there. We're going to have a bhel puri out there, or we're going to have a restaurant out there, or cafes out there. And our entertainment room. We're going to watch movies. We're going to be watching shows, culture, performances, whatever. So you have to think about it as a very fine house for yourself, because in an urban context, you have a very small, tight matchbox, and you're living within a larger context. So the city is, unfortunately, it's treated very differently from our private spaces. Even though we spend more time in the city, actually. You'll spend more time out here in college, traveling than actually at home, you know. So the result is a very poor lifestyle, no matter how rich one is. And you can see it just by going out and breathing. The AQI is bad, the air quality is bad, it's not a joke, it is bad, it has to be addressed. And it affects everyone, especially the growing children, but more so it affects everyone. I mean, so it's something like, no matter how rich you are, you're going to have the bad air. You can put as many air purifiers, you're not going to clean the air out there. We can use design as a tool to improve the lifestyle of all the citizens. So this is a very simple thing. We are designers. We are not great people. We're simple people. We know how to visualize. We know how to design, and we need to use that to good effect. And we also need a better city. So you need to see, you need to identify. So we need some basic stuff. Clean air, access to parks, and better transportation. So we're working with a very low agenda. We're not going like high out there. And we're trying to achieve something. So the city needs to invest in good design for all. Investing in good design is not expensive. And the city has a lot of money. It's constructing a lot right here also. There's a monorail, there's a metro, whatever, the roads. And you can see that there's a lot of spend. But the spend without direction is bad. And that's what we are actually facing. So we need a better lifestyle. And this is a simple map which I'll start with, which shows why resilience matters. And you see that this is a heat map. They're very interesting. And if you see the heat map, the urban heat island effect, and that's the heat map, the richer areas, which are westerly and southerly, are hotter. They are generating most of the heat. It's interesting. This is what it is. This is the contrast. Okay? This is very clear. And there is, like, you have slumlords, you have politicians, you have land being acquired and all that stuff, but you do have a certain amount of this thing. This is what we started with, which is unfortunate. This is called a foot over bridge. It's actually exactly the same as this. It's a chicken coop. Okay? And we're being treated like this. This is not good. When you're traveling, you're being treated like this, and it's not good. This is the way people used to cross at railway fataks. So this is our parent project, which is Bombay Greenway, because I'll come to the main reason. This is where people used to cross, and now they've got like no crossings. You have to buy tickets, cross at foot over bridges at stations only. There are no in-between crossings. So east-west crossings are impossible. Bombay, by the way, is north-south linear. You all know all that. And that's basically, everyone's postal address is east or west because it's defined by some railway engineers in the British era that drew railway lines, made Bombay east-west because it runs north-south. It's very easy. So, and this is how people like to cross north-south. When trains stop, this is how they walk. And so we designed this project, which basically, it's called the Bombay Greenway project. It's a green deck above the railways, pretty simple, but carries services, has landscape, cuts down the heat, cuts down the sound, makes all the areas around accessible. And in non-peak hours is also a garden. It's a leisure area, 1,000 acres. It won some Cycling Visionaries Award. We were very happy. We thought they'll do it. Of course, they don't do it. But this scheme was, this is Bandra Station, for example. This scheme was designed to save 4,000 lives a year. And we did this in 2012. In 2014, Norman Foster was published all over because he designed some sky cycle, which is over in London, which has terrible weather, by the way, which is why they came to India. And it's a scheme to save 14 lives a year because lives matter over there. We have 10 to 12 people dying every day on our railway tracks. Okay, it's embarrassing. In the most famous east-west divide in the world, psychologically, if people talk about east-west divide, you'll talk about East Berlin and West Berlin, the Berlin Wall. And if you go on Wikipedia and check over 30, 40 years, I thought like countless people must have died, but no, I think only around 300, 400 people died crossing the Berlin Wall. It's like Bombay tracks in 30 days. It's ridiculous. We have a killer here and no one is taking responsibility. More people have died here than in Kargil and all these other wars. Pakistan is not the enemy. Guys, don't get confused by all the false propaganda of the government. The enemy is right within because we are all shameless and we are callous people. We don't care about society. We choose to look the other way. And we should stop doing that. Okay? So the idea is not to blame people. So in 2012, we had proposed the Bombay Greenway, which of course, and this was in 2016, Toronto's proposed something called the Deck Rail Park, which graphically also looks similar to our poster. So we were flattered when people sent it to us saying, hey, they've copied you. I was like, good, let them copy and then we'll copy them. Because if they build, then our government will copy. So, and this is our illustration, this is their illustration, which is quite similar and quite flattering. And this is now announced in Dubai, I think last year. 93, this is just like in the middle of nowhere in Dubai in the heat, they're going to make this huge thing and they're going to make cycling tracks. So they can do it. It's possible. It's just to show things are possible. This is 1863. The underground was made in London. 2014, Andheri. It's like sad. That's our 151 years of history. Someone spoke about history and learning from history. We have to learn from history. And there's a reason, even at that point, pre-JCB, pre-computer, pre-electrification with steam engines, they chose to go underground. There's a very important reason. It's called air, it's called trees, it's called light, it's called visual aesthetics, it's called architecture, it's called street space, it's called pedestrianization. There's a lot of stuff going on there, which we seem to have just forgotten when we built this. This is the death of architecture. And, and this is 160 years later. This is 2023. This is at SV Road in Khar. Look at that beautiful avenue. You've got the tree line vista and you're losing everything. And they're cutting so many trees in the process. So it's like, it's pretty stupid what they're doing. But yeah. This is a tale of two cities. If you look at Charles Dickens' Tale of Two Cities, you have this in Bombay. North Bombay, South Bombay. You have tolls, you have rickshaws, you have potholes, you have overground metro. This one has underground metro, only taxis, no rickshaws. It's got like no tolls, toll-free roads. Eastern freeway is literally free. Coastal road is free. So it's like, who pays for it? We're paying for it. Nothing's free. So, and there are many more explanations, but it's a very stupid system. If you're calling it a city, you must have common rules for the whole city. I mean, no one's objecting to the fact that Sion Bridge is broken and you cannot go on that BKC connector with a motorbike. You cannot go on a motorbike to the airport. You cannot go on a motorbike on the sea link. So why have motorbikes? Either you allow it everywhere or you don't allow it. You can't say they don't ride well, then don't give licenses. So you can't have different standards. It's very stupid. This is an illustration. Fortunately, the underground metro is coming here, and this is thanks to architecture. The architecture is nice in South Bombay. They probably realize that, they probably respect it, which is why they're not doing this. But would you prefer this? And if you build like this, like in that earlier slide I showed, who's going to hire an architect to ever do a building? I'm keeping it to architecture, but I also look at the trees and that other stuff that happens here. Look at this. We've taken that station and superimposed it here. It's proper. This is exactly how it would look. It looks shit. Sorry. But yeah, this is Art College. It's a very clear illustration of what should not be done and why not. So it's easy. I mean, if someone does prefer this, I would love to hear back from you, and I'd like to understand why. But I do not. And I will put my vision forward, and I'll tell you guys also to put your vision forward. It's important. It's important that we speak. I'll give you an example of Mahalakshmi Station, which was built in 1867. That's Mahalakshmi Station by the racecourse there. This is Sat Rasta, which incidentally we've told the BMC, and they were like, oh, I said Sat Rasta is not Sat Rasta, it's Art Rasta. They were like, oh, and then we counted the roads and told them it's Art Rasta. And we have a project that makes Sat Rasta again. They took a part of it and they're building an overbridge, and they've destroyed the other side. But anyway, this is a case of bad planning. This is your monorail station, which connects to New Cuff Parade, which happens to be not at Cuff Parade but at Ar.Alan, because Lodha is built there, and Lodha is now BJP parliamentarian or whatever, guardian. New Cuff Parade, kuch bhi. Advertising, I started it when they came to Lower Parel. They said Lower Parel doesn't sound cool, so they called it Upper Worli. They called it Upper Worli. Now everything has become. Lodha took it to the other extreme, to Cuff Parade, New Cuff Parade. Now this is the metro, 2019. So the monorail was there, metro was there. 1867 says station is there. 310,000 people per day are passing through that blessed station. What kind of connectivity are you creating? And so you have this where you have Jacob Circle, which is, they renamed it as Sat Rasta because someone did not know how to count. And you have the monorail station here, you have the metro station here. You obviously have a lot of traffic build up because you've got a lot of distances to cover in case you're thinking of, because ideally public transit should allow interchanges between one mode of transport to another seamlessly. If you have to come out and crowd the road and create more this thing, it's going to be a failure. So there are poor connections, and you're going to get congestion. So it's a normal thing, and this is a proposal which transforms Jacob Circle, 8 roads or 7 roads or whatever, but there are 8, into this thing. So I can show you that small video later if you want. This is connecting to the underground there. So the metro is underground, the monorail is overground, and the station is up that bridge. So this is the proposal to simplify this major traffic junction, because there are 2 missing links, and this will become completely pedestrianized. You get 1.7 acres of space at almost no cost, without all those fancy costs, because there are 2 missing links from Worli and from Haji Ali coming down to Sat Rasta. So we're talking about big changes can happen through small interventions also, very small. And these are several junctions and traffic intersections and gardens that we've designed. These are mostly in Bandra. This is Khar Station, for example, from SV Road till Khar Station West. The entire precinct, we planned out proper geometry, so proper road geometry. without going into anyone's property, just simplifying it, getting proper curbstones, getting proper drainage, creating a pedestrian zone, which is all road right now. This is very important. This is done partially to our plan. Then the railways came and built something. This is Carter Road to Joggers Park connection. So if you're familiar with Bandra West, this Carter Road, which is 1.65 kilometers long, and then you have Joggers Park, but it's disconnected at Otters Club. And so over here, there is the Otters Club gate. If this gate, which has a temporary stand, just goes back, they've got potted plants, you can just connect it overnight. And you can expand Carter Road into Joggers Park, both of which now come under the BMC. Earlier they were not. Joggers Park was private and Carter Road was under the MMB, Mumbai Maritime Board. Very easy connectivity. And you get public space, and it's good because now you get a longer space to run, walk or cycle over. It's as simple as that. You start enjoying it. This we've executed. I went for the latest images. That's Mannat, Shah Rukh's house and bandstand. And this is a traffic island, which we've expanded and then we've made it much nicer, and we've kept all the trees and landscaped it further and created steps down to the sea, so you have like a performance area and other things also. And this is the steps. I saw a couple of designs which have used some of these elements today, so it was nice. This was like a good success story. This preceded the other ones. So you have Mount Mary and you have Peter Dias Road below. And you have a great elevation, and the DP, the Development Plan of Bombay, showed a road. So we said, look, you can't build a road there, let's do this. They said, we have to do concrete and we're going to have street lamps. We said, okay. So we built the steps, and we created, in the process, we created 3 areas for performances and stuff. Upper area with the garden, center and bottom. And we have, so these were the early illustrations, and then this was the model. This was the model on site. This is the construction at site. This is during the construction, and we thought ramps, I don't know, I actually didn't think too many people would use ramps. We made it for universal access. But the funny part is, after it's built, you find more people using the ramp because they like the longer walk. They just like the leisure. People want that option. So it's not just old people who are using it, even the kids are using it. And you have a lot of sport. Then we got in artists, so I'll show you, because everything is about collaboration, guys. We don't work alone. Anything you're building, you need a client. You need contractors. You need all your carpenters and other skilled labor. You need other people. You have a fine restaurant, you need cooks and you need clients to eat there. Otherwise, the restaurant is a dead space. Okay, so you need to make things alive. And activities are what make public spaces alive. So this Sanka, my wife, has she's got a thing called Love Your Parks Mumbai, and that's a very active thing where they encourage usage of parks. Pre-COVID, she had changed the timing for the parks, all the parks in Bombay to be standard, but they changed it during COVID. So that was a big loss at that point. So this is, so then we have a festival at the steps. We called artists, street, like just, and then even the kids of the locality, they came and they also painted. So there was art, and these walls are very bad condition, so we have to redo it every year or 2 years. So we call in new artists and they come and do it. And all this is pro bono, everyone's doing it for free, and it's really nice. So it was a garbage dump with a lot of drug use in that area, which was transformed into this, which is now vibrant and which is having all sorts of art forms, animals, universal access from kids in prams to people in wheelchairs. Everyone's coming there. So you have a space being used. It's being used by, I think Rizvi College does a lot of events there. They come there very often, Rizvi College of Architecture. They're kind of happy to come there with their things. And so it's over there that we also have music and sports, and when there's no festival, which is just occasionally, otherwise people are doing breakdancing and playing. Now we are also part of Bandra Collective, and we've designed the skate park and Carter Road. So 3 of our projects were published in this 75 public spaces of urban landscape in India, whatever, which is good, but they should do more. And so we also activate the thing with installation. So this is now when you start doing your product design or your installation art or whatever. So this is a tree. This is basically marble slabs which are staggered, but in a certain angle you see a tree, like you see your face. So that's how it is. But otherwise it's like all over the place. And then it's with metal rods and lights. And this was the family tree, because in the third year's installation I realized that people only take pictures of themselves. Everyone's obsessed with selfies only. So we made like a photo frame, so it becomes a family tree. And the family tree then transforms from the family tree transforms to a kite tree, because there's Makar Sankranti. So we had it, going to multi-functions. And I'll quickly go through something like Andheri station. So this is much larger and this is difficult for them to grasp, but there's only one way of going to a station now, is by train or by road. You're forced into a rickshaw or a taxi or whatever, and there can be an entire change in lifestyle if you design for it. So this is for Andheri station, connecting 2 bus depots on either side, creating connectivity along the Bombay Greenway, creating a design that caters uniquely to its context, with proper studies and with connectivity and all the public transport and public areas taken into consideration, giving people the respite. I saw one Kurla station project was there, yeah. But I'm not so pro building in public spaces, because we think building less is good. And you don't need roofs no garden has a roof. You don't need a roof over a foot over bridge. You don't have roofs over footpaths. So you don't need a roof over, you don't need that extra expense. You don't need the extra ugliness. So we need to revise, sometimes we need to downplay our architectural instinct to overbuild. It's very important. It's difficult to come to grasp with, because when we tell people this, they don't understand. They say, but where's the building, or where's the railing? You want a footpath. And the client, the corporator at Khar wanted I love Khar. And I said, I don't I love Khar. If you love Khar, do this. But where's the railing? I'm like, you don't need railing. You don't need to spend. You don't need metal. You don't need all this. The only way you can be sustainable is by doing all this, and it makes sense also. So this is for the Mahalakshmi area. So it connects, this is a smaller part of a larger project which connects the west coast to the east coast. To Baikala Zoo, you get from east here, you get to Baikala Station, Baikala Zoo, Nariyalwadi and Eastern Waterfront. And it's a very small distance. It's only about 3.5 kilometers from west coast to east coast. So it's a very easy walk or commute or whatever. And this is part of our coastal project. So we have a Bombay coastal project, which is part of the creating a complete coastline, which is accessible to all, because unfortunately out of 160 or 167 kilometers of length that we've calculated, only about 30 kilometers is accessible to us as citizens. So it's very sad. We've got amazing geography, and this is some coastal road things. The government did listen to us about this, so we've got connectivity at Love Grove. They have connected the promenade, but we wanted to shift the entire road in and get the open spaces out, because the open spaces right now are land trapped. And as far as all of us, if you look at a drawing, you'll say this is a real estate project, because it's real estate development. This is the kind of reclamation at Kemp's Corner. Currently, it's now looking, the road is complete, but 380 meters at Warden Road. And this 1:1 scale with New York, you'll see that they've done this reclamation. They say they need so much reclamation to build one road. To put in simple urban context, you can build so many roads. And with so many roads, you can build so many blocks. And this is New York size blocks and New York size roads. That's Broadway, 5th Avenue, 6th Avenue and 5th Avenue. And you've got all the streets here. And you've got blocks here. And if I take this one very famous block, I can build this one very famous building called the Empire State Building. So I could do 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 Empire State Buildings in just that small section of coastal road. Do I want to? No. So don't get confused. I'm just saying there's potential, which is what I think the government sees, which is why the open spaces are landside and they're not seaside. And that's a 2-scale study with a couple of well-known buildings, and see how little area they occupy in the reclaimed area. So when people marvel at this coastal road project, it's actually a very bad project. It reclaimed land, it reclaimed the sea, it destroyed the environment. It's made only for private four-wheelers. It's a signal-free road. Of course, you'll do it in that much time. There's no magic in it. People are so impressed in Bombay. Oh, I can drive so fast. Of course, you get a clear road, you'll drive fast. It's a signal-free road. So our proposal was very simple. You've done, and that was like an average 180 meter reclamation. You put the road here, put the road there. So the road goes in, the open space comes out rather than being a land trapped, unsafe. I saw something, one poster on women's safety. So this area is highly unsafe, and the access to the promenade is only via underpasses, which are going to be few and far between, like 600 meters between underpasses. Who's going to climb down, climb up? So anyway, so we were talking about having a coastal city. Yeah, and this is part of our connectivity through the coastline. I showed you Bandra Fort to Mahim Fort. We've got some things happening there. So basically Bombay Greenway is a not-for-profit urban design and research platform which we have, and we believe in collaboration. So we're sharing this information openly. We give proposals. We never go with a complaint to the government. We always go with a counter proposal. We go with a solution, and we say it may not be the best solution, but it's definitely better than what you're planning to build. Have a competition, throw it open to all, because they have the budgets. They're spending like crazy amounts of money. I think at least about 500,000 crores they're spending right now on infrastructure. It's like stupidly a big obscene amount, and doing bad stuff. So we need to redirect them. You know, we have the power of visualization. We need to direct them towards the right thing. So that's what it is. Thank you. And if you want, I'll show you one or two short videos. So like a Jew Beach thing. I'll show you how small interventions can make a big difference. So I think just, yeah, can you just open that folder? Yeah, the Jew Beach project, that'll be good. So this is, I'm not sure how to pause it on this. This Jew Beach, I don't know, I guess everyone will be familiar with Jew Beach. This is when you're coming from Ramada Sea Princess, and that is Ramada, and that's Marriott over there. So there are 4 turns and 400 meters. So for the motorists, it's terrible. Why take 4 turns? There's no signal. You make an underpass which is only 260 meters. You don't take any turns. So it's very easy for a driver. You automatically get a beach extension of more than 1.5. It's about 3 acres if you include the other things. So this is just a very simple, cheap illustration, but it'll show you this can become this. And this will reduce the traffic tremendously and improve the driving experience. The 1.5 acres plus another 1.5 acres, you get 3 acres. But the future proposal is much nicer because you take out the road that interferes between Pawan Hans and the beach, and you get a new park of 385 acres. For those who are interested in Pawan Hans, has anyone ever entered Pawan Hans over here? No one, right? I've gone in 4 times in my life because I've gone in the helicopter. Only helicopters take off. There's no flight. It's in the flight path. So this is in the flight path. So this new park of 385 acres can be available to the city for free. And if you don't have budgets, you can just do a transformation like this. You have budgets, then you start employing people, put lamps, put benches, do nice landscape. Karna hai to kar sakte hain. But this is a land parcel, so they don't want to do this. They say this is AAI land, Airports Authority. This is the BMC. We don't talk to each other. But it's 385 acres. To put in perspective, 385 acres is 1.5 times Mahalakshmi Race Course, which you all might have been to. So it is much bigger. There is a lake here which is bigger than all of Shivaji Park, which possibly you'll have seen also. So that's the scale perspective. And this land is locked up from the rest of the city. Helicopters take off and land vertically. The other side, they're landing on rigs, which is in the middle of the ocean. You have a small platform. They aim pretty well. So you can easily relocate this or give 35 acres out of this to this. So it's a very simple transformation. Sorry, just so the idea is very simple. Instead of 4 turns, you just go straight 260 meters, and this would have been a cut and fill tunnel. It would be very easy. Haji Ali to Baiklas Zoo. 1 minute. Yeah, we'll open Kalagoda video. That's like so super simple. So this is Kalagoda, and this is the kind of parking lot they have, which is a contracted parking lot. And we told them just, that's it. Take out the parking there and you'll have, this is the most photographed area for any tourist in Bombay. So you'll have a beautiful urban thing. Then, oh, parking. And I said, this can be done overnight. because the cars don't have to be demolished, they'll just move. So there's nothing to do. It can be done overnight. It can be done at no cost. When you say no cost, they don't like it. So we have another solution which is more high cost with multi-level parking and with pedestrianization of the rest of the area. They took the little pedestrianization of the rest of the area and they're doing it with someone else, or they've done it with someone else, but they've not done the major plan. So unfortunately our plans get a little hijacked. Sorry, I'll show you one more if you want. The problem is with design also, there's a lot of corruption, because when you take a nice design and you kind of, is there Sat Rasta? No, 1 minute. Yeah, the Sat Rasta project. This is our older one. This is about, so Juhu Beach and Sat Rasta and all are 12 years old. Huh? So Sat Rasta project. This is, I'll explain the Art Rasta thing. So this is Art Rasta. See, the numbers are there. 7, 8. These are the two missing links, which if we go through 2 underpasses, then we create 1.7 acres of pedestrian pathway there, which is the most congested part of Mahalakshmi station, the signal over there, because both the roads come and join there. And this most congested road can transform very easily. The government unfortunately took this, and out of the 2 underpasses, they're building only 1, but they're building as an overpass. So there's a big bridge coming near Racecourse. Now the disadvantage of that is, underpass does not have to go so deep, because you're only clearing the height, 6 meters jo bhi. The overpass has to go over the railway lines, so they have to go even higher. Now, logically, you need a longer and a bigger ramp to access that, both ways. So both sides of the road are getting damaged further by the length of the ramp, and because it is overhead and they have beautiful rain trees over there, they've started cutting all the trees. This is corruption in design. They're idiots. And they're spending 350 crores instead of 50 crores, which is what the original calculation was, or much more than that. But they're so corrupt. That we can't account for. But it's shamelessness. Yeah. So I'll show the advanced version of this project. Sat Rasta to Mahalakshmi station. Yes. Sorry, volume low. It's okay? Yeah, slightly high is okay. So this is Sat Rasta. This is Sat Rasta. This is the connection between metro to monorail over here. This is the same 1.7 acres, but we've developed it further to explain. We've developed Mahalakshmi station to explain Bombay Greenway and the connectivity through. In this video, we incorporated the overpass that they've done. This would be Mahalakshmi station, and there's no change to the station in itself. Like the platforms stay where they are, the railway tracks stay where they are. So there's, in any of our projects, we're not changing any of the other variables, because we are trying to deal only with the public land. Over here, what happens is this roof deck becomes your entry concourse, ticketing and all that, turnstiles. And the upper deck, which is your roof, happens to be your green roof, which creates and allows for a continuous connectivity from Borivali to Churchgate. So it's very easy. And this also allows for east-west connect, because we've got 225 acres of park, which now they've reduced to 210 acres, then they made it 201, then they've given 95 acres to Royal Western India Turf Club. So they're going around their own way. But this thing connects to both the racecourse as well as to the station. So what happens is this gives you an option to go up, north, south, whatever. Also from the station, there's a lot of pilgrim traffic going to Mahalakshmi temple and to Haji Ali racecourse. So then it's very easy to kind of walk in a park rather than take a bus or a taxi, a taxi or a bus, yeah, which is necessitated. That also drops traffic. When you push traffic onto foot, which is the easiest and cheapest way, and the healthiest way, and if you're walking experiences through parks and gardens, then you would probably choose that, because you might spend 5 minutes more, but you'll save a lot more energy, and you'll be healthier, you'll talk to friends while doing it, you'll save money. There's so many more benefits to it. So, yeah. So I hope that makes sense. If you all have questions, you all can ask me. I'll show you one college area, Kamla Raija. I'll show you the problem with planning. Yeah, JVPD institutes. No, one above that. So I was teaching here at Kamla Raija also, and they were not doing their work, and then the girls were saying, no, they closed the college, we have to go back, we can't stay on longer. So this is 10th Road JVPD. This is the Nala. And this is a very nice area. You know, you talk about Amitabh Bachchan, and you talk about gardens, and you talk about Kefi Azmi Park, and you talk about 4 educational institutions. So you got institutions. Can you move that so that doesn't come? So you got Ecole Mondiale, Vidyanidhi, AVM, Kamla Reja, and this is Kamla Reja. It's Kamla Reja. It's adjacent to Kefi Azmi Park, and it's got so many parks, gardens, playgrounds, and institutions. So it's very planned, and it's surprisingly unsafe because they actually complain about safety. So what if you created a zone for 24/7 use to make it people friendly, multi-use, and allow for different age groups? The problem is it's only your college students. You'll come in the morning, go in the evening, or school students. So there's only migrant traffic in and out, and the rest of the time it's dead. And then there are buses parked on the road, and people are scared to walk behind the buses. There are some unsafe elements in the buses. So you need to create things that are multifunctional. So we're talking about opening up the space, having multi-use on the ground floor at least. You know, you need to do these things. Otherwise, you make an area and a zone that's unsafe. So, yeah. And just last one I'll show is the sports by the bay, because I think it's enough, no? Very simple. There's simple on the road transformation at Bandstand. This is the current state of the road. It's a one-way road from the garden we planned, Shahruk's house, to the other side. And on the road itself, you can just do this program because there's so much space to do it. And we're calling it Sports by the Bay. This is where the sun sets, people come in the evening. It's a no traffic zone, there's no signal. One-way road, yeah. So much road is there. And people are just parking for free. There's no pay and park concept also. People don't want to pay and park. And we've organized parking. There's a cycle track, there's a running track, there's a potential food stall because they may or may not allow food, cricket net, sports zone. So this is within an existing parameter. Where we see potential, we propose. So I hope you'll like that. I hope it was okay. I hope I was clear. If you'll have questions, I'm happy to answer. Thank you. Thank you. No questions?
Now we open the Q&A session from the audience. Any questions?
Asna, bindas.
Please come.
Why come? Give him the mic, no? Yo.
My question is related to the Mahalakshmi race course. Since we are building the roof entirely out of, if you're covering up the entire roof, the below space will require a lot of light usage, right? Like to keep it mobile. So how do you?
I haven't covered the race course at all.
What?
I haven't covered the race course at all.
Station, sorry. Mahalakshmi.
Station has plenty of courtyard light, cutouts are there, plenty. There's plenty of natural light, there's light from both sides also. It just lacks aluminium ACP, which is extremely inflammable and dangerous, so don't use ACP. It lacks glazing, which gets dirty and needs to be cleaned and needs to be maintained and builds up heat, so we don't have glazing.
Okay.
It doesn't have air conditioning. It's naturally ventilated. It's perfectly fine. It's as is. Right now also it's naturally ventilated. Yeah.
Hello sir, my name is Srishti. First of all, it was very insightful. We literally saw what we've been taught since many years, and so I want to ask you, there are so many great ideas, there are so many actual proposals that you take to the officials in the government. So where do you think the problem comes in when you propose it, or why doesn't it get executed much faster?
I honestly don't know, because there are different things. Like the Kamla Raija one, I gave it to the college. Now they've invited me, I've come there, they're not doing their work, we're doing studios. So then I did this and I gave it to the college and I said, please do something about it, the trustees, because they're part of the Vidyanidhi thing. Now they have to take the action. They have to be willing to take it forward. If they are dead, you know, if you're numb, if you're immune to societal changes and just sitting and watching someone die, someone getting burnt, hate speech, this thing, the city and the country will collapse. You have to be a participant. It's the same with the BMC. The BMC has funds and they're ready to do it if, in Bandra for example, if the citizens demand. But the citizens don't demand, because everyone's caught up with the petty greed of redevelopment. So they just want their property redeveloped because they'll get extra FSI. So they don't really care about the footpath, they don't care about the other development. They're okay with the nonsense that's happening. So that is the problem, because we are not responsive as citizens. Therein is the problem. The BMC would do it. The BMC does not have corporators, so there's no one accountable. But nonetheless, they do have the budgets and they're not necessarily bad people. The officers, they want to make money. They can make money doing a good job as well as they can make money doing bad job. They wouldn't mind doing the good job if it gave them money. That's how the system works. Now you have to want to do it. As far as the politicians are concerned, they absolutely lack vision. They lack education. They're very dumb. They're very dumb. They only practice false news, propaganda, hate, and they're creating enmity between people, and that's all they're doing, and they're winning votes to get the projects. So you see this big, we are all pro-development, we are amazing, we're building so much. It's nonsense. It's not benefiting you or me. It is only benefiting them because they're making more money, because they're spending more money. And whose money are they spending? Your money. Okay, so if they're spending money, we should also be saying, look, this is our priority: clean air, good roads. You built a road on the sea, okay, how does it help me? They're selling stories. They destroyed Bandra Fort in the renovation right now, and they're making it, the stories they're selling online are that it's an amazing place. Stupid. Can you believe a fort is open 3 hours in the morning and 3 hours in the evening? It can be open 24 hours, or it can be open at least 18 hours. A public space. Why would it be open? Do the plants need to sleep? Do the paver blocks need to sleep? What? It doesn't. Who is questioning that? It might be hot, you may not want to go in the afternoon, but why should it be closed? Someone else will go. And seriously guys, if you feel hot and all, carry an umbrella. You don't have to build roofs over everything. Yeah, they build the foot over bridge, they build the roof, then that steel is taken out and it's sold again. And there's a lot of recycling in our system of money. It's a fact. It's very sad, but it's true. Yeah, so I'm sorry, I can't answer your question because even I'm struggling with that question of why it's not happening, but I think it's basically we are inactive. Like after this, you will go back, you will forget about it. Understandable, but hopefully some of you all get motivated to do something. Maybe you all will make the bigger difference. I would be very happy. That's why I've come to share. Yeah. So.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Hello.
Just sorry. Similarly put, if I tell a private client, this is better for you, do it this way, they listen because they're paying you. They actually listen, which is a good. It's a good feeling, huh? Someone at least is listening to you.
Okay, so before I ask my question, I just want to let you know that the Bandra Step is my favorite spot to be.
So
One
sweet.
of my favorite spots, yes.
So sweet.
So I want to ask you that what are your thoughts on Bombay becoming the next Hong Kong, where you might even have coffin homes 10 years down the line? Because Bombay is such a place where opportunities matter more than a lifestyle and even hygiene for that matter, and even standard of living. So what role as an architect can we play?
Sorry, I didn't understand the comparison with Hong Kong. What do you say?
Where we might even have coffin homes 10 years down the line.
What is
because of
coffin
the-
homes?
Coffin homes is cramped up place to live because people are migrating more in Hong Kong for opportunities.
But we already have
And,
that. I don't know if you've seen any of the slums and chawls and all. There are six
so-
people, 8 people in one room. Yeah.
But this is slums going vertical. And
We have that also. It's called SRA. we have everything. Do you know how much the earlier SRA requirement was? 225 square feet or something. Now it's 325. You know how much one car takes in parking? a normal car block, which will do is 5 by 2.5 minimum, huh? But that's not the parking space for a car. A car requires access to the parking space, and it requires minimum 2 to 3 parking spaces, because the car is supposed to be a mobile device. You're supposed to move from home to the office, so you need parking here, parking there, or home to school, then to the mall, or to the grocery store. Or to the park. So you need at least 2.5, 3 car. A car parking space has been calculated to be more than 250 square feet per car, which is more than what an SRA family of 4 would get. Family of 4, assuming they've done family planning. So it is ridiculous how much space a car takes. So coming back to your question, Bombay has slums, has vertical slums, has unhygienic spaces. You were comparing it to that part of Hong Kong, not to the other parts of Hong Kong, which nice waterfront,
No, we are doing both.
water transport,
Yes.
good buildings, good architecture, good landscape around, quick destinations to whatever. Hong Kong has that. You can escape from Hong Kong in like no time and get to a green space and go hiking in like 30 minutes. You have water transport in Hong Kong in spite of typhoons, which are strong. We have no water transport. The British stayed in Hong Kong 50 years longer than they stayed here. So that makes 97 they left. 1947 they left us. So we didn't get as developed.
You think if we don't have government regulations, we might become the next Cameron world city also?
We have government regulations. The regulations allow for FSIs of any number. We can build as much as we want in Bombay. Bombay does not have regulations about the good stuff. It's only about building. So that's a bit of, so there's no open space regulations that they're kind of pushing for. There's something called POPS, privately owned public spaces, where you can buy as the government public space from a private entrepreneur or an enterprise or a business developer or whatever, and then they get additional FSI because they're giving you the ground space so we can use it. It's amazing. Central Park was built in New York in 1880 whatever. They demolished buildings. There were no, it wasn't a park always. It wasn't an open space. There were buildings there. They bought over and demolished buildings and they made Central Park. It's a vision. Today everyone goes to New York and goes to Central Park. I mean, it's some decision someone took 150 years back. That's called foresight. You have Central Park, you have Hyde Park and St. James Park in London. So you have it all in the center of the city. Do they not have high real estate values? They do. Over here, we have Mahalakshmi Racecourse and Pavanhans and all these places. They will sell them off because they have high real estate values, and the only thing our people see is greed, which is very petty, very selfish and very self-defeating. I don't know if that answers your question, but I'm just telling you. It's about vision. You have to have a vision to achieve something. That's why you're all learning. Have a concept. Then draw to that concept. Then you must know what you're drawing. So you need the scale. You need to understand the scale. You need to make models. You need to go through a process. The coastal road is like a seaside property of mine. So if I have my public entertainment room, my public living room, I'm going to meet you guys on the coastal road open spaces. And I'm going to have a dinner with you over there in the outdoor spaces there, because it's my public dining room, like cafes and all that stuff. If we have, which they're not having, if you were to have, they build the road in front between our open spaces and the sea. It's like I give you a villa to design at some seaside, Goa, Alibag, wherever, and you put the driveway in front of the bungalow and you put the bungalow behind, so the bungalow has no view of the sea. I would sack you as an architect if I was the client. So the BMC has to be able to sack the designer, unless the designer is designing to the brief. You know, because you cannot, and no one has spoken out against this. People have to speak up. Things don't happen. Change doesn't happen by itself. Even I thought it'll happen by itself. You give a good proposal, it'll happen. Nothing. No, even the client, even a private client, that's why I showed you that. It doesn't just happen. If we want something, we have a vision. The private client listened to me, no? That was the cherry on top. It's not to dissuade you guys, but it's to encourage you to know that if you have a strong vision and an idea, and if the client is paying you, then definitely they listen to you. But if you're giving free advice, then it's a bit less appreciated. Anyone else? Please feel free. I mean, if you'll have questions, then I don't have all the answers, so I'm also very clear about that. I'm trying. Yeah.
Like you said, the client appreciates your vision and he lets you do what you want. How do we find that type of client? Because not always the briefs are always.
We don't find that type of client. We give up clients who don't want what we want. We lose a lot of jobs. We are not very successful architects. It's a fact. We are small. We are not big. But we do things with a certain conviction, with a certain belief, and we are happy with that. So we are a little thoda satisfied. Okay, so there is a difference. Sometimes people don't want. Like there was a client who came, he had 18 acres, he had a hillside, cliff, trees down there. I was like, fantastic. He said he wants ecologically friendly, this thing, that thing. And he made lots of money through some sale of some company, something, like obscene amount of money, which you can't even count. And superb. Then he said he wants to walk all across his site. I said, fantastic, you should walk across. Then he said, but it's up and down, so we'll just cut it and we'll flatten it and we'll cut off those. I was like, bye. What do? Then there's a total disconnect. It doesn't happen because you try to convince, but some people are like, stupid. Literally, I mean, like, it would have been very expensive what he planned and it would have been very stupid. It would have been ecological suicide. He went to another guy, he's building it.
Yeah, but
that architect is making a lot more money. Choices you have to make in life. I went to the BMC and they laughed at my plan and I came back in the meantime. Choices you make in life. I'm happy with my choice, don't worry.
No, I'm saying, okay.
How do you find the client? No, I said I don't find it.
Someone else will build it. Would you be trying to be more convincing? Save it.
No, yeah, he's building some 20,000 square foot house on 18 acres of land. It's a huge amount of spend in Alibag. It was like big money. Your fees would have been high in that. It's a private job. It's a good private job. There's big fees. When the big fees is there, when you have to run your house or whatever, then you make the choices. And it's okay. But that's where you have to develop your sense of ethics and what you want to do and what design philosophy you're going to have if you want that. Yeah, it's not a compulsion that everyone has to do it. Yeah. But good question anyway. Yes. The only client I think I didn't give up is BMC. But they're not my clients. I've not got a single rupee from them. And I still go to them. They can't escape. We have to do something. Yeah?
Yes, sir. So, we saw your projects which are happening in all over Mumbai. So, we are also running it in our studios. So, we had urban voids last time, 7th semester. So, they are working on it. You showed one proposal of Kalagoda, that parking which you removed. So I would like to know, and you went to propose it also. So I would like to know how much backward do you need? How much research did you do for that proposal?
So
how much?
Yeah, you have to do a lot of research. You have to do a lot of background. You have to do everything. This is just a dumbed down version. It's simplified everything because that's important. It has to be simple for a person to understand. We don't show sheets like you have with all the pie charts and all because I don't like pie charts, and secondly I do the research, but that is only to inform and to make sure, because I'm putting my voice out there, right? I'm talking in front of you guys, I'm talking in front of those guys, so we're putting our name out there. We can embarrass ourselves very badly, or we can put wrong data out there. That's very wrong. You have to go with all the right data. So you do need to do research. There's a lot of work. It takes a lot of time. We've been working on this for the last 13-14 years. So it's a lot of work. This is just a part of it, but it's the part which we could make simple and easier. Because even that Kalagoda thing, the simple thing, it has some 3 or 4 different options, and There would be plans, there would be sections, there would be views, there would be other things also. But then how do you explain it the best way possible? Yeah, because at the end of the day, for the BMC, they're losing income on that parking lot. So, but they're not charging each car. The contractor is giving a fixed amount. And then it's only bus parking and all happening there mostly. So anyway, so it has to be kind of balanced out, because that area is appropriate for other activities. It was about taking off the left turn at Jahangir from K. Dubash Marg, which is Rampart Row, connecting that island to the Jahangir Art Gallery. You could take the left turn at the place where you're taking the right turn to enter. So it could become a smaller this thing. The island becomes part of the footpath. It becomes pedestrianized completely. And there's so many tourists there. There's so many this thing. You can have year-round installations there. You can have good activities there year-round. 52 weeks of the year, 52 activities. If you're only doing weekends. But that area is very good. The potential is incredible. So we are not giving a finite program, we are not giving a finite proposal, we are just giving an idea that you can do it as simply as this. Now you want to improve the paving, you want to use granite, you want to use marble, you want to use tile. You can detail all that if you have a budget. So there is a zero budget option, there is a more budget option. But at no point are we saying we want the project, we are giving the idea.
Like
so,
you mentioned, we have to direct them like what they are doing.
Yeah, but we not only have to tell the BMC, we also need to tell the locality, so they are aware. Now the problem with people is largely they are design insensitive, the general public, because people are also not voicing it out. Like I didn't show the study for VBSL, but you're driving more to the sea than you're actually driving on the seafront for the coastal road of this part, Versova Bandra Sea Link. And then you're coming back, and it's a very stupid. Now Juhu Beach and all, you go, you'll see a sunset on the sea. Now you'll see a sunset on a road on the sea. So it's kind of, and the road is meant to serve not the sea, but the city at the back. Same road and the same surface and the same amount could be spent on the city, and it would improve the whole ecosystem within. Because that's huge spending, huge numbers. Everything is in thousands of crores, no one's questioning it. You ask your private client who's listening to you, he'll question every number. That's the difference, right? Na? They will budget itna hai, itna kyun hai? Arey, how much? Magajmari, everything they ask us. We are not responsible for budgets, but you know, they are very particular about the spend because it's pinching you. So I think that's the difference. We don't realize we are being pinched because we are paying the tax, and now they have the moolah to spend whatever. No accountability. That's the sad part. There's more defense spending than on any of this. More people are dying on our tracks than on the border. You make Pakistan the enemy. Let's look at your own this thing, no? Sorry. Anyway, it's a very logical thing. My thing is based on logic. It's a very simple thing. It's nothing over the top. It's just like wherever you stay, guys. Wherever you stay, look at 100 meters, 200 meters. If you're adventurous, look at 500 meters from your home or wherever, or wherever you're common or very familiar with, and see if you can propose something that makes a difference positively. That would be a good exercise personally. Just sketch it out, try it out, think it out. Then if you can visualize it, draw it out. Go with the proposal. Go to your ALM, go to your neighborhood, go to your local cooperative if there is one, or your MLA. Go to the BMC. Try it. Worst case, what will happen? Nothing will happen. But you'll have at least tried. It's very important. Yeah.
Good afternoon, sir. My name is Ar.Alan, and my question to you is that regarding your vision for Galagoda, you have removed the parking space and made it a public open place. So Galagoda, the whole fort area essentially has a problem of parking. But since you're removing a major spot for parking, so how are you going to tackle that issue? Because essentially you're increasing the parking somewhere else. So
actually, I'm not. The guy who's getting the car is increasing the parking. But your question is valid, but your approach is wrong. The reason is that the buildings existed before the cars were even invented. Okay? That space was created. Now you have that space. Do you think parking is the best use of that space? That's the number one question you have to ask yourself. What do you think? Answer me. No, give me the mic, answer me. So you need to go logically. Is parking the best use of that space? That's a pretty photogenic space, old town, tourists, this thing, that thing. Parking is not the best use of that space. So that's the number one thing to question. Because they want parking, do I give parking there? You are the architect, you're the guy with the vision, Greenfield project. You have to decide, am I going to give a parking space where my views are the best? Answer.
I won't give the parking.
Okay, so that is to be decided after. You have to find another place for the parking. Clear? Which I found in this thing. But now, what do you do with that space? Because it's such a large road space, what do you do with it? You can propose a garden, you can propose whatever. You might say, I'll have a fountain. I've said public plaza because I want people there, and people like to hang around together, talk to each other, take photographs of buildings around. I like architecture, this is my viewpoint. Doctor might say put a giant syringe there. I don't know. So you have to see what you want and then propose that. But parking, now you're saying this parking is offset somewhere else. If you study the parking, which is why the research is important, you'll realize the parking belongs to contract buses and other places, other things that can easily be moved. It'll be there in my images, big yellow buses, other things, school bus and all. That's not the space to park. It's because parking is there that they're parking there. Okay? So you solve it that way. And then you say, okay, people will have cars and there will be more parking in future because they're building roads everywhere. So people will buy more cars. So there's going to be a parking problem. This is not going to solve the problem. You'll need proper parking. You need parking where you want to go, not in the middle of the most beautiful location. So just be logical and first question the actual problem. Yeah? Tanvi, is it good? It's okay? Thank you guys. I appreciate it. And stay positive, be positive. It's not, it might sound frustrating and disappointing, which it is, 100%. But there is hope. As long as you guys are there, there's hope. You'll have the power of visualization, you'll have better rendering skills, you'll have better visualization skills. Sharpen that. Sharpen your design sensibility. Approach problems with some compassion. Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you so much, sir, for sharing your thoughts. Your insights and the depth of experience were truly inspiring. It was fascinating to see how you approach design, and the examples you shared gave us a fresh perspective on the impact architecture can have on both individuals and communities. Thank you once again. As we come to the end of this event, I would like to extend a special thanks to our chief guest of the event, Architect Ellen Abraham, sir, for taking time out of your busy schedule to share your expertise and insight with us. Your contribution have truly enriched this fest and inspired all of us to think beyond the ordinary.
I would like to express our deepest gratitude to Deepak Chauhan sir, Anil Nagraj sir, Tanvi ma'am, Anuprita ma'am to be here, and faculty members, admin department and non-teaching staff for their unwavering support, guidance and encouragement. Your belief in the vision of this event has made it possible for us to bring together such an amazing platform for creativity, learning and innovation. I would also like to extend my sincere thanks to Professor Shweta ma'am and Professor Umesh sir, along with the entire student council, captains, vice captains and the volunteers, whose hard work and dedication behind the scenes ensured the smooth functioning of this event. Your commitment has been the backbone of this fest, and we are deeply grateful for your tireless efforts. Thank you and have a great day.
I request Professor Anil Nagraj sir to give a sense of gratitude to our chief guest. So please. Thank you everyone and have a great day.